Hey guys, it's Kathyrenee here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you joining me for the very first time today, my name is Kathyrenee and welcome to the show. Okay, so on today's episode, we are going to be reviewing the Morphe X Jeffreestar palette, and I'm going to show you guys on how I got to this look. I'm looking done right now. I'm going to show you guys how I got here, and I'm going to be giving you guys the detailed tutorial only on the eyes. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, like it, share it with your friends and your family. I'm going to quit rambling on. Enjoy the show. Alright, so we're going to be going in with the Morphe X Jeffreestar palette. And the two colors that we're going to be going in with is Nate and Wake and Bake. The brush that I'm going to be using is the Morphe E27 brush. Alright, so just so you guys know, I dipped the brush into the palette. I did not dust it off. What we're going to do, and what we usually do, is just drag it across your eye on above the crease area. It's okay. Try to do it as low as possible. Try not to do it too high. We're gonna be doing this back and forth windshield wiper motions. And what I'm doing right now is little circles. And when you blend it out by doing the little circles, it's okay if it goes a little bit high. Because remember, we are blending it out and you want a really pretty gradient. And if you guys hear music in the background, it's my meditation music. And I often listen to meditation music when I'm like stressed, I have anxiety. I don't have anxiety right now. Alright, just so you know, I dipped the brush back into the palette. I did not dust it off. I'm going back into the background music. So yeah, I usually put this on when I'm stressed out. I usually have anxiety. I don't have anxiety, but I felt like I was about to be triggered. So I just put it on to kind of calm down and relax. Back to the blending right over here. I'm just doing little circles. Earlier I did the windshield wiper motion. Just keep blending little circles. Oh my gosh, I was doing planks the other day. I was working out my upper body. Oh my gosh, like it kind of, like my arms hurt. And they hurt to do this at this angle for some reason. Yeah, I'm trying to turn my body too, so that way it won't hurt as much. This actually feels better, but I hope that you guys can see. So how have you guys been so far? Hope everything is going well for the new year for you guys. Next color that we're going in with is Drive Through right over here. The brush that I'm using is a Morphe M456 brush. Alright, so I went a little ahead of myself. My bad. So basically, I dipped the brush into the palette. I didn't dust it off, and I just worked on my outer corner of the lid here. I went a little bit up, and then just started blending. I didn't do anything too crazy, but this was a final outcome of it. I still want to darken it up, so I dipped the brush back into the palette, and I'm just doing little circles on the outer corner. And I'm going to be like kind of following like the outside of my eyeball, like on the lid, if that makes sense. And then I'm just going to be going a little bit outer and then going up, if you guys are able to see this here. Nothing too crazy, and I'm just still blending it out. This is like a pigmented glitter shadow. It may get all over the place, but that's okay, because if you started on the eyes, great, don't worry about it, it's going to go away. But if you did the foundation first and then that, I don't know what to tell you. I just, there's a reason why I start off with the eyes. Right, so as you guys can see, I went ahead and cut the crease off camera. Alright, so we're going to be going back into the palette. We're going to be using the color 1985 right over here. And the brush that I'm going to be using is a Morphe M522 brush. Right, and before you apply anything to the lid, if it's already wet, make sure you smooth it out. We're going to be using a matte shade, and if you put the matte shade over where it's not like smoothed out, it's gonna show up and pick up. You're gonna see like this really harsh line. So I just advise you guys to do that, because that's what I just did. And I dipped the brush into the palette. I did not dust it off. What I'm going to be doing is just doing it on like the outer lid of where we cut the crease. So just pack it in there for now. It doesn't have to be perfect on like where it blends out here, but just be super careful where you like cut the crease. So just keep packing it on there. Alright, so I did the brush back into the palette. I did not dust it off. And super carefully, I'm gonna raise my eyebrows just to get in the crease area. And then just continue to pack on my color here. Really simple, okay guys? Just be super careful in this crease area over here. Okay, so the next color that we're gonna be grabbing is Lynn right over here. And the brush that I'm going to be using is a Morphe M522 brush. And before starting on the lid, I advise that you kind of like smooth out the crease area if you have a crease. Because that's what I'm just letting you know what I did and what I advise you guys and I recommend as well. You guys don't have to follow it. But reason why I recommend it is because this is a matte shade that we're going to put on our lid. And matte shades tend to pick up like the lines of the creases. I'm just letting you guys know what I'm doing. Moving on, I dipped the brush into the palette. I did not dust it off. What we're going to be doing is just packing it in here. I advise you to be super careful with this crease area. Just be really careful. Normally I'm like, it's okay, it's a process. It is a process. You have to trust it and you have to believe in it. I do, you know, I recommend that you do that, but at the same time, be super careful here, because this is where I have messed up plenty of times. I still mess up to this day, and I'm just packing it on here. I dipped the brush back into the palette. I did not dust it off, and again, we're still gonna be packing it over here. Super careful and be super gentle with your eye, please, guys. Just if you want to smooth it out, that's fine. And then what I'm going to do is already create the gradient that we did with the other color on the lid really down, just to start blending everything, and that way everything can start coming together as it is. Alright, so I have pretty much everything down packed the way I wanted to. What I'm going to be doing off camera is blending the rest of it. I'm going to come back with liner. So I'll be right back, stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm back. As you can see, I went ahead and blended everything out and did my lashes off camera just to save the time on the video. So for liner, I went ahead and used the Epic Ink eyeliner, as you can see. And then, I don't know if you guys saw earlier, I always forget to mention, and I apologize in my end, I usually put tape. And when I do the tape, it's like easy to clean up and it's easy for me to do my liner. So I'm gonna look down so you guys can see. Pretend I have the tape. So usually what I do is I get the liner and I look down. I get a mirror, of course, as I'm looking down, and then I just like drag it across. Really simple. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and put on lashes. The lashes that I'm gonna put on are from Beauty Creations. It's the 3D mink lashes. They're in the style Flawless, as you guys can see right over here. Really pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and put these on, and I'm gonna do the rest of my face off camera, and then we're gonna come back to finish the eyes, okay? Be right back and we'll stay tuned. Alright, finishing up the eyes, we're gonna be going back into the palette. We're gonna be going back in with Nate and What's the Tea. And the brush that I'm going to be using is the Morphe M321 brush. I dipped the brush into the palette. I didn't dust it off, and it doesn't matter which one that you start with, you're still gonna get the same outcome anyway. And then, really weird angle, but I do this so you guys can see. I'm just gonna be just lightly dragging it across underneath my, I guess underneath the bottom lid, if this makes sense. Not really sure, but just drag it lightly. Take your time with this. And it's okay if it gets like a little bit in your eye, just like it did happen to me now. It's not like these things are toxic anyway, so you're fine. Like why would they make eyeshadow? And let's say if it accidentally gets in your eye, I mean, it's fine. So just like take your time with it. I'm not telling you to put it on your eye exactly, just put it in the bottom at your own risk, of course. I don't want you guys hurting yourselves. All right, so now we're just complete with the eye look. I'm gonna finish some final touches, get presentable for you guys. I'll be right back, so stay tuned. Alright, so I put myself together for you guys, and as usual, I never know what to do with my hair. And as you can tell, hair isn't my thing, but that's okay. At least makeup is my thing. So thank you for making it this far. I really appreciate each and every one of you that made it this far. Alright, so let's talk about this palette. We are currently reviewing the Morphe X Jeffreestar palette. I almost fell out of my hands there. Let's talk about her. Alright, so this is how she looks like. I'm carrying it sideways because of the mirror, and I don't want like the mirror catching something it's not supposed to. But anyways, yeah, so this is how she looks like. You have like a ton of different tones right over here. I like the color story. It's really pretty. I never really play with greens. I should be playing with greens more often, but I really like that I had the opportunity to play with it and also make it into my own. I really like that. Also, of course, since I am reviewing the palette, I like to take my time with the palette only because I like to test out all the different tones, all the different colors. Now this is just a straight up glittery shade. You have to use your finger for it. You can't use like a brush or anything else like that. I tried with different brushes. It doesn't really let me do what I want with it. So if you guys are like, you know, super into the glitters and stuff like that, this is you, because it's not for me, but that's okay. Then you do have like your shimmery tones right over here. They're a little bit on the light side, meaning that you're gonna have to keep reusing the color, packing on the color, so that we can get that true color payoff. And then this color over here, it's like a duochrome color. You see how it looks dark and then it looks light. That's what you're gonna get. And with the brush itself, it's gonna pick up a lot, and it's gonna pick it up in chunks. I think that's because of the glitter, but it's beautiful. It's shimmery. I freaking love it. Okay, so far my thoughts on this palette. I freaking love it. I love Jeffree. He's my dude, and I like Morphe as well. And of course, I got this palette on sale. I didn't get it when it came out, so I encourage you guys to wait for a palette when it becomes discounted. I know that the hype is to get the palette immediately, because trust me, that's what I used to do, but it costs money to do that. But I encourage you guys to save your money. I encourage you guys to sign up on those discount, take advantage of any type of discount code or anything else like that. I'm all about that. And I think recently, Jeffreestar announced that he isn't going to be working with Morphe anymore. I don't know how true that is. I saw it on one of his videos. I'm just, you know, throwing out a fact there that I heard. So yeah, that's the end of this review. Alright, so I kind of moved positions here. If you see me different, I apologize for that. And, alright, so this is the end of this video. I'm gonna look down so you guys can see the look. I have a hair here. Alright, so this is the look that I came up with. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you guys like recreate it as well, as I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like kind of iffy like on the colors because I don't really play with greens. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just freaking do it. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if you guys do it. Tag me. Alright, thank you for sticking with me to the end. I love you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you that passes by. Shout out to my subscribers. You guys are freaking awesome. Alright, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you for watching the show.